All right. Good afternoon, Ogoni once again. You are live on the Ogoni Live, where we bring you topics and discussions, particularly around Ogoni. And today we have it's our very first royal guest we are having on the show. We've never had a royal guest with us before, and this is our own very first royal guest, and it's quite, it's something that we actually proved to be an exciting experience because, um, the traditional rulers are actually custodians of our history, our cultures, and our tradition. And having one on the show, even if relatively young, of course, is a kind of a very great honor. And if we will say that our ancestors are here with us, because the traditionals too are actually the link, traditionally
Yeah.
they are the link between us and our forebears before us. So with us on the studio, this on the live session this afternoon is His Royal Highness Barile Brownson Yaako, and he is the acting Mene of
Lueku.
Lueku, and he was recently, you know, he was recently uh, appointed. Will I say appointed? Because the official coronation hasn't yet taken place. Or let's say he was anointed by the royal family, led by the head of the royal family, amongst different, members of the royal family who indicated interest in the throne after the demise of the former king. So many of the members of the royal, of course, it's something that is open and all of that. So, but the royal family decided on uh, His Royal Highness Barile, and he's here in the studio with us to tell us, about his journey to the stool. Your Highness, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
You're a big name in the Ogoni already, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for this great opportunity. It's an opportunity.
No. We are. The privilege is actually ours because having a royalty here, it means that our platform has become very big for us to be able to have a royalty, appear on the rand. So very quickly, can you tell us about your journey to, the very place you are right now, and what is likely to follow from here?
Yeah, just like you have said, mm, I thank God Almighty for this journey so far. It hasn't been an easy journey, and I'm very grateful with how far I have come. My name is Barile Brownson Yaako, the only son of the late His Royal Highness Brownson Yaako. It happens that I am the only male child, and my dad had a whole lot of children outside marriage. But from his own wife, I happen to be the only male child so far. And I have other siblings, like mostly are female, but I have brothers too outside the family. It hasn't been an easy journey, just like I've said. I'm not elected because my father was a king. I'm not elected because my father was a king. I'm elected because the family of the Mene royal dynasty found me worthy. They elected me. There are other people who are in the family who came up for this stool, who are richer than me, who has money more than me, who are more older than me, educated than me. In every area of life, they are more better than me. But among them all, they still chose me. So I'm not saying it's by my power or by the money I have. It's because the family found me worthy. And I'm coming from a family that no other person outside my family, nobody outside my family can come to the family and crown you. The stool I'm occupying today is hereditary. It's hereditary. In my family, we have no less than four staff of office. Yes, we have no less than four staff of office. From my grandfather, the great Wiya, to Ngbenebara, who was the first His Royal Highness of Lueku Kingdom, to my dad, the late His Royal Highness Brownson Yaako, to my uncle, the late Jephthah. So we have no less than four staff of office to let you know that this throne is hereditary. Understand? So that is how far we've come. And I don't think there's anybody outside who is going to deceive anyone that they can install anybody on this throne, because it is my family's throne. Even I cannot crown myself. And I cannot connive with anybody outside my family that, oh, come and crown me, oh, I'm the legitimate person, oh, or I'm the heir apparent of the throne. Oh. It's not done like that. And it's not rotational. The family has to sit down, the elders of the family. We have a leader of my family, who is called Mene in Ogoni.
Okay.
And we also have Menegan. This Menegan is the person who libates, who consult. Then the Mene is the person who heads the family. So the both of them actually work together. So when the elders of the family, it's not rotational. It's not like it has to from, because my grandfather got married to three wives. And it happens that my father is the first wife of another wife. Then the late Highness is also is the second son of another wife. I was actually small when I was actually very little when I lost my dad. I was around 14 years old when I lost my dad, and then I wasn't of age of taking over the throne. Let me use that statement. I wasn't of age of taking over the throne, so they had to sit down and said, okay, someone has to take care of this little boy. Let it be his benefit. Let it be something that he benefits from this throne. Because my father didn't really enjoy the throne. My father didn't enjoy the throne. It was when he was supposed to benefit from this throne that death took him away.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
So my uncle came in the picture, and they were like, okay, you have to train and maintain this young boy, my late uncle. And he didn't do anything about it. Even when I tried to call his attention that, oh, I need to go back to school, or uncle, I have to feed. There are things I really need. He didn't even give me attention. And I call upon some royal fathers. I call upon His Royal Majesty's one, Baridam of Asians Banner. I call upon His Royal Majesty Sam Mene concerning the situations of things that, look at, oh, this is an agreement we had with this my uncle, and he's not doing anything about it. I have to go back to school. I have to sort on some things. I have siblings who has to be taken care of. And I was still very small, and nothing was done. So on this fateful day, I was just at home. I got a call from my uncle, which is my father's direct younger brother. I should come home. I came home. I never had any intention of that I'm coming to take over the throne, or I want to be the next king of Lueku. I never had any intention like that. My uncle called me. I went to meet him. He told me that with the situations of things right now in Lueku Kingdom, he cannot say he's going to come up. Then you remember very well that when they were burying my grandfather, but they made do Yalo, they did me Ya. Understand that with what he saw within that period of time, he can't say he's going to take over the throne. That the only thing he's going to do to me is going to nurture me. And he was asked to personally coronate me before the family itself. This is my father's younger brother. Before the family, he did other things. He correlated me, pray, tie me wrapper, do other things necessary for him to do. And I went back to Port Harcourt. Then I got a call from the family, the man Mene, which he said, a lot of people have been coming here. Your uncle has come. There's one other of my uncle who was a chief nurse in BME has also come. They wants to take over the throne. The other of my uncle, and I am from Lueku. So no of my uncle can from Nyokuru. Luekus are civilized right now. Even if the throne is hereditary, Nyokuru cannot impose anybody on Pia Lueku. It has to be the sons of Yaako in Lueku that has to be installed. It has to be somebody from Lueku. And among everybody, the local people also came up and told him that this is the person we want. It wasn't by my power. It wasn't by struggle. I am not fighting with anybody. I'm not struggling with anybody. I'm not going to court with anybody. The local people went to Mene and said, this is who we want. And Mene was like, but this person is coming out. This other person is coming out. And I said, no. The women came out, the youth came out, and some elders came out. I even heard that I'm not even aware of all these things. I'm not aware. I even heard that some pastors in Lueku still came out on behalf of me. And up to this moment, I haven't still even gone to even tell them thank you. But I'm making arrangement for that. So when these whole people came together for my sake and said, this is the person we want, I don't know the reason why, but I feel they see me worthy. They see me as someone who can actually lead the local people very well and in a righteous way. So that was why they said, okay, local people have spoken. Mm-hmm. This is what we need to do. He called other members of the family. Some of them came. Some of them who had interest came, didn't come. Some of them who doesn't have interest, who is just free and fair, came. And it was like, local people said, this is the person they want. I have suggested like 3 persons to them, that these are the people who are coming out. But they said, no, it's this boy we want. So I have nothing to do. I will give them this boy. I will coronate him. I will install him till the late Highness has been buried. Because there's this saying we do say in Ogoni that yes. So it's after the burial of my uncle that I'll be fully coronated. I'll be fully coronated. So that's how far I have gone. I didn't nominate myself. The people of Lueku, my good people of Lueku nominated me. And they've been solidly behind me. I've been seeing a whole lot of write-ups on social media, those who are against me and those who are still with me. But everybody is my brother. I have seen myself as a leader. And I'm not going to let down on anybody. That is the vow I made between myself. Because I remember the days of my father. When I was still very small, my father himself used to go to the town square, clean it by himself. When my father was alive, there was no other youth, there was nobody misbehaving in my community. There was nobody misbehaving in my community. People can attest to it. My community was a very peaceful community. It comprises of about 16 communities. Lueku is comprises of about 16 communities. Nobody ever misbehaved when my father was alive. Because he put the people first. And he knows that this is his responsibility. These are things he has to do. There was one time when I was still very small, I heard that there was a group of boys who were at the market square trying to bring up courtesan in my village. Then I was still very small. So somebody came to call my father that, see, oh, look at what is happening in the town square. Oh, come on. My father stood up. You get hold of all those boys, beat them up, took them to their parents and told their parents that this is what their children are doing, and he doesn't want to hear any of these things again, or they'll be arrested forever and they won't come back. When my father was alive, my community was one of the most peaceful communities.
Thank you very much, Your Highness. It's actually, we are going to get to that point where you narrate, you give us insight as to how, you'll be handling the stool of Lueku as its king. Very quickly, you've gotten to the point, you've been able to narrate to us how you became the choice of the royal family.
Yes.
Of course, you've also given an insight as to the fact that even you have the blessings of the community.
Yes.
It's beyond just the royal family
Yes.
making a choice. So from here, because you are still the acting king means that it's not permanent.
No.
It means that your seat is not yet sealed. So going forward,
sealed.
Okay, it is sealed, but it is
why is acting?
How will I?
Why is acting? Just like I said, my uncle, you cannot install a king when the king is not been buried.
So you are the king elect,
yes,
right now,
by the family,
waiting for official coronation. So can you briefly tell us how we move from here? This point we are right now, how do we move from this particular point to the coronation itself? What's expected? Is the funeral expected anytime soon? What are the plans on ground? And how long after the funeral are you expected to be officially coronated?
Okay, we're still making plans of because why I'm being elected for now is because someone has to lead. Someone has to lead the family, and that is why I've been elected. And we've been able to make plans of the burial of my late uncle. Okay. And I cannot. He has his family. In as much as he was the king then, he has his family. Okay. And I cannot just jump into the privacies of his own family. Say I want to fix it. He has a son. And the son will have to communicate to the family that this is the date I have, or he has to come to the family and say, please join hand with me. Okay. Let's fix this day. Let's see how we can bury my father. Okay. And the families will join him. Okay. Because I myself cannot I won't fix it for him. I
thought in a situation like this, since he was a king, it's not supposed to lie on his nuclear family. It's supposed to be the decision of the royal family.
No, it doesn't lie on his son alone. Okay. But the son has to make that decision.
Oh.
He wants to bury his father. Okay. I have a major role to play. Okay. I have a very big role to play.
Okay. So only the son, only the biological son, and not the family can determine the schedule for the funeral.
The family can determine the schedule for the funeral.
Okay.
But the son has to be consulted. The son, why I'm saying this is, the son has to be responsible because this is his responsibility. Okay. If when I lost my dad, I was still very small. And I remember very well that I was able to meet up one or two family members. Because my father stays in the mortuary for 4 years. Okay. Yes. My father died in 2004 and he was buried in 2008. Yes. But with the support of the family, we were able, because then I don't have money. So the family were the only people who supported me with the little support I got from the Council of Traditional Rulers and the River State government. So he has to stick to his responsibility, call the families. Okay. Then it depends on when the family say no, they are not going to support you.
Okay, because I was thinking, since you are actually his heir right now. Yes. You actually succeeding him, yes. And by virtue of that, in the actual sense of it, by standard of the throne, you are like his son,
yes.
Someone that is all of that. Since it's the throne you occupied previously that you are occupying, I felt, but no, I'm not trying to interfere with tradition.
Yes.
If your tradition is that it has to do with the biological child has to be the one to be at the fore,
Yes.
then that's fine. But I was like previously I imagined that, for a king like that, the king, the acting king,
Yeah.
is supposed to, be the one to decide how to go about his funeral, since he was a royalty. A king doesn't belong to his family. A king belongs to the community,
Yes.
and there's supposed to be institutions in place, beginning with the acting king, and then maybe the councils of chiefs and all of that,
Yeah.
to decide on his funeral. But from what you've explained so far, his son has to make a move.
The Council of Chiefs
Mm.
do not have the rights.
Okay.
The Council of Chiefs, with my own knowledge, the
Okay.
Council of Chiefs do not have the rights.
Okay.
Okay, what if we said, if we were in situations
Mm.
where this throne
Mm.
is rotational,
Mm.
maybe it's from Tem
Mm.
to Nyongo.
Mm.
After the death of the king in Tem,
Mm.
somebody has to take it in Nyongo.
Mm.
Do you think the person who inherited the throne from the past incumbent has to decide the day the king should be buried? No.
Okay.
You have to consult the family.
The family.
That is why we have Mene.
Okay.
Apart from me being the king,
Mm.
we still have Mene that I should consult.
Mm.
If there is any need for anything, there are things there are decisions I don't need to take or I don't need to make on my own.
Okay.
And that is why they are my elders.
Mm.
So that is just it. The son has to just stand up, work with each and every one.
Okay.
Mene, look at my father has been long due for burial. Let's bury him. This is the date. This is the date I'm looking up to.
Okay.
Is it okay with you? Okay. Then the family will say, okay, let's work towards this day. Then they will write to the Council of Traditional Rulers, Ogoni.
Okay.
Yes. Then from there, preparations will be made.
Okay.
Because I, on my own, cannot just decide, we need to bury the king.
Okay.
Because he has a family. He has like 3 wives.
So let's say, for instance, because from my understanding, his son was also interested in the throne. Let's say, for instance, he doesn't, if he's not okay with you being the choice of the family and all of that, and he decides not to, take steps to, bury his father, and, until his father is buried, you won't be coronated. If such situation arises and all of that, what's likely going to be the solution, since it has you have to wait for him to decide first before you make a move?
Okay. Really, my own brother was interested in the throne. But there's a question we need to ask. Before your dad, who was my father? Before your father took over the throne, who was my father? So if you are saying you are the prince of Lueku right now, are you disrespecting me that I wasn't the prince of Lueku before you? So I should be the first prince before you. Because even before me, even when I was nominated as that I should come up for the throne, I had to consult one of my brother who is the son of the late Highness before my father. His Royal Highness in Benebara. I have to consult him. I have to call him. My brother, see you. This my uncle is dead. Are you going? Because if you said you are going, I will let it be. Just like I said that whosoever the family, even as I am right now, if the family decide to nominate anybody and said we don't want you anymore, I will still withdraw myself. It's not a do or die affair. I have career I have to chase. Even if without, I won't be a poor man. So I'm not going to say the kingship is a do or die affair.